Good evening. We will reconvene the business meeting at 7:30. That was called to order at 6:45 and into executive session. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 24th and February 7th, 2024?
So moved. Second.
Moved and second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We would like to thank everyone who is here tonight. If anybody has a comment or a question, you can fill out a card with our district clerk, Ms. Padilla. Correspondence report?
I have nothing to report at this time.
Thank you. Superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start this month's update by first remembering Karen Brass, a speech teacher here at Valley Stream 24 that we recently lost. So please join me in a moment of silence to reflect on her impact and legacy at Valley Stream School District 24. Thank you. So I wanted to start off by talking about our accountability status, which I did send a letter out to all of our families and I put it in my January video update, but the news came out right after our board meeting the last time. So in exciting news, our 2023-24 school year district accountability status is in good standing. All districts and schools that are in good standing receive a designation of local support and improvement. We are very excited to let our families know that all three of our schools have received that designation, and that's wonderful news that we should all be extremely proud of. I talk a lot about student leadership and voice, and at Valley Stream 24, all of us firmly believe that student leadership is critical as we shape our students to be leaders of tomorrow. I had shared with our families that I met with our student councils on Vision 2030, which is a future-focused vision for our district, and ensuring that our students are prepared for the demands of the 21st century. I also discussed lunch options with our students and got incredible feedback from them. Recently, though, I met again with our Carbonero Student Council representatives who wanted to interview me to learn what it's like to be a leader of a district community as they aspire to be future student leaders and future leaders of our community. Meeting with the students and speaking about leadership brings me great joy. The questions they asked were thought-provoking, and I know that they are extremely aspirational to be leaders of tomorrow. We have incredible student leaders in our district that we should be so proud of. And speaking of the power of student leadership, I am extremely excited and proud to let our community and our families know that thanks to the feedback from our student council representatives, and after reviewing school lunch menus, we are beginning to tailor our school lunch options to include more items that our students enjoy seeing, as well as a brand new vegetarian meal option starting March 1st. This new option includes Pizza Fridays for the students because they do love pizza, which our students did express. And our staff are committed to continuing to refine our school lunch menus with student voice. I want to thank our teachers who lead our student council, our administrators, our food service workers, Nancy Jacobson, who is our account clerk who works with our food service workers, for all helping with this incredible initiative. And again, it was thanks to student voice and the feedback they provided me when I met with them. We also had the honor of celebrating literacy during World Read Aloud Day this month. Guest mystery readers were invited inside of our classrooms to read to students. I had the pleasure of reading to Miss Fitzgerald's third grade class here at Buck School, choosing the book Ada Twist, Scientist. The students exhibited remarkable curiosity and shared insightful perspectives. and develop their own critical thinking skills with the questions they were asking me about the book. I thank all of the mystery readers who came to our classrooms to read and build a love of literacy in our schools. This month, we also celebrated Valentine's Day in an extremely meaningful way by honoring our veterans. We had veteran George Catalanato join us. We also had several legislators come and visit our district to collect cards that our students made for veterans, and you'll see that in the picture there. It is always important to honor those who have served our country, and we thank all of our schools for always thinking about our veterans. PS I Love You Day is also a day in which we foster a supportive environment for our community and ensure that our students feel welcomed, loved, and included. Classrooms across our district honored this day by wearing purple and engaging in self-love and self-appreciation assemblies as well as activities. I can't thank our staff enough for creating activities that help build the self-esteem of our students, because we know that when children feel safe, they feel included and they will take those risks to be successful. I wanted to provide a brief update to our community about Vision 2030. We are partnered with the Successful Practices Network's Ray McNulty, who has been collaborating with our district to advance our Vision 2030 initiative. The picture you see there is a recent meeting that we had, an administrative meeting with Ray McNulty this week, in which we engaged in a half-day session talking about what Vision 2030 can look like, and we were able to craft a draft vision statement, which takes a while because you really have to think about what that vision can entail. And this statement will undergo further revisions as we incorporate feedback from all stakeholders from our community, especially next school year, as we have teachers join us in the journey and we get more input from our families, our students, and of course, our Board of Education. This vision is a collective one, and we're very excited about ultimately helping to support our students be prepared for the 21st century. I wanted to share some important dates and events that are coming up. Tomorrow, I will be having coffee hour with the superintendent here at Buck School. That is at 6:30 p.m. The month of March is full of activities, but again, these are just some of those activities. The month of March is all about celebrating Women's History Month and the contributions women have made in our global society. Read Across America Day is March 2nd. That falls on a Saturday, so all of our schools will be celebrating that the week of March 4th. Report cards will be distributed March 13th, and this year, for the first time, we will have 2 parent-teacher conferences for the middle of the year in the month of March. The first will be March 13th, and the second is March 20th. As I shared in a letter earlier this school year, those are half days, and dismissal on those days will be at 11:30 in the morning. The month of March, I didn't list this here, but also starts Ramadan fasting for those in the religion of Islam. This starts around March 11th. I personally remember growing up in 5th grade and fasting, and it's about 30 days of fasting from sunrise to sunset, where you cannot eat or drink. So some of our older students may also be fasting during this month, and we will be extremely mindful of that. There's also a district hockey game for 6th grade on March 21st at South High School's gym. We look forward to an incredible match for that hockey game. Now, I am extremely excited. Our gym here is extremely full of students who are going to perform for us in honor of Black History Month. And our students will be presenting poetry as well as dancing. So I introduce Principal Gaddy. Give her a warm welcome.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, Mrs. LaRocco, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Mr. Caracas, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Conti, our wonderful families, colleagues, superstars, and scholars. Thank you for being here. At Valley Stream 24, we strive to foster an inclusive environment where every voice is valued and celebrated. This commitment is evident in our literacy programs, STEAM activities, monthly celebrations, and DEI events, which all recognize and honor the diverse cultures that make up our community and the world at large. Nevertheless, we also understand the unique importance of February as Black History Month, which is a time to specifically acknowledge the incredible contributions and experiences of Black individuals throughout history. Throughout this month, our scholars have been actively involved in deep learning, including research, creative writing, dance, poetry recitation, and singing, all highlighting the past 5 decades of Black history. That was a shameless plug for our assembly that will take place tomorrow, if you can make it. Tonight, we are thrilled to showcase the talents of our first and second grade students as they share their love of music and poetry with us. I will now hand over the program to our superstar, Mrs. Evangelista, representing our first grade team, followed by Mrs. Harrison, who is our committee chair for this committee, who will then introduce our second grade scholars. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of my grade level colleagues and it's a privilege to introduce our first grade superstar scholars. As they recite a poem written by the young Black American author Amanda Gorman. "The Hill We Climb" is a poem mostly about collaboration and unity, two important principles upon which the foundation of Valley Stream 24 is built. So without further ado, I present our first grade scholars slash poets. Here they are.
We are striving towards our union with purpose. To uphold the country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried. That will forever be tied together, victorious. Scriptures tell us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, the victory won't lie in the blade. But in all the bridges we've made, that is the promise to glade. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
That was terrific. And now I'd like to introduce my colleague and friend, Mrs. Harrison.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, community. Good evening to the board, our superintendent, Mr. Caracas, our superintendent of curriculum and instruction, Dr. Conti. Thank you all for coming. To be on the chair of the Black History Committee has truly been a privilege. I've been able to see the scholars really invest in not just the culture of their own identity, but in the culture of someone else's identity. While we are celebrating Black history, it's important to acknowledge all of the contributions of those that came before us, whether we can identify with them or not. They are part of our culture, and they are the reason why District 24 can make such strong connections to their scholars and to their superstars. So at this time, the second grade is going to come and do a dance for you. They are dancing to If It Isn't Love by New Edition. Some of the parents, you might have danced to this before. And New Edition is important in Black history because during the late 80s and the 90s, music groups, especially boy bands, were important to the formulation of future music groups such as Boyz II Men, Jodeci, Shy, and a lot of even the K-pop groups that we see today that our scholars love so much. So while they dance, feel free to join in with them. And of course, give them a round of applause as they come. Oh, we gotta turn it up.
We hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you tomorrow morning at 9:45 a.m. Thank you.
Oh, no, great job. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. That was great. I almost started to get a
You should have.
Wow, what an incredible performance. Can we give one more big round of applause for all of our students? And if we could also applaud our incredible staff for working so hard to help make this possible for us tonight. Such a strong showcasing for Black History Month and the diversity here we have and celebrate at Valley Stream 24. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I can't stop smiling. Inspirational poetry, great dance moves. That was amazing. Thank you. We also invite you to stay after the meeting concludes for refreshments. So, Valley Stream Central High School report. Trustee Herrera.
I didn't want to be the first to go after that performance, but okay. Valley Stream North, South, and Central High Schools earned top scores in the Advanced Placement School Honor Roll for 2023. This recognition honors high schools in which graduating cohorts have high levels of AP exam participation and proficiency, with North, South, and Central earning the silver recognition on the AP Honor Roll, denoting more than a 50% participation rate in AP exams amongst the school's respective cohorts, alongside the Access Award recognition. College preparation and expanding access to AP curriculum is a major focus for the Central High School District. The recognition is a wonderful acknowledgement and something for our graduating students and families to look forward to. The Central High School is once again offering free PSATs and SAT exams to students in the 10th and 11th grade, alongside a variety of free and discounted tutoring services in partnership with the Princeton Review. If you're interested in participating in any of these offered programs, please make your way to the Central High School District page for further information. Robotics kicked off this month with their first club meeting. Students have the opportunity to learn and flex their engineering and programming skills. It's wonderful to see that our students from District 24 are able to carry over their interests and passions to the high school. We look forward to participating in various regional and national competitions. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Herrera. Legislation report, Trustee Nunez.
Thank you, Madam President. On February 2nd, Valley Stream District 24 attended and participated in the virtual Capitol Conference Day, where we received a breakdown of the governor's budget and its effect on local districts. It was a great opportunity to collaborate with local districts on ideas to maintain and enhance funding for our district. Also, on Saturday, March 9th, our local legislators will be present at the Valley Stream Legislative Breakfast. We encourage our community to attend the legislative breakfast. This is a great opportunity to meet and interact with our local legislators and have your voices be heard. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Nunez. Personnel, Vice President Hernandez.
Thank you, Madam President. I will make a motion as a consent to move items A1 through A8, which you'll find at the bottom of page 3.
Second.
Moved in second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Education, Trustee Wilson.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I'd like to move items 1 and 2 as listed.
Moved in second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Finance, Trustee Meyer.
I'd like to move item C1 as listed.
Moved in second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report, Madam President.
Thank you. There's no policy report tonight. Is there any unfinished business to come before the board? New business, Trustee Herrera.
I'd like to move items 1 through 7 as listed.
Second.
Moved in second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any further? Thank you. Thank you. Any further discussion to come before the board?
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to let the public know that the legislative breakfast will be at Memorial, and it will be at 9 a.m. on Saturday, March 9th.
Thank you, Trustee Nunez. Having no further discussion, I entertain a motion to go back into executive
Madam
session.
President, I'd like to make a motion to go back into executive session with the trustees, the attorney, and the superintendent, assistant superintendents for personnel and any other legal matters.
Moved in second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you once again for everyone that came out tonight, and please join us for refreshments. Have a good evening.